Hi children, good morning. Last class I have discussed with you about digestive system, alimentary canal, liver. I have discussed with you, and now I am going to discuss with an accessory element digestive glands called pancreas. So pancreas, where it is located, it is placed in the duodenal region of small intestine. It is a leaf-like structure. And another thing I want to say is it is both act as endocrine and exocrine gland, hence it is called as a dual gland. Pancreas, it is a lobed leaf-shaped gland situated between the stomach and duodenum. Pancreas act both as endocrine and exocrine gland and as an endocrine gland. What is mean by exocrine gland? It is gland means you know very well already. I said it secretes something. Exocrine gland, it secrete hormone. The endocrine gland which secrete hormones are called exocrine gland, and the gland which secrete enzymes are called endocrine glands. The exocrine part of the pancreatic gland secrete pancreatic juice, which contains three enzymes: lipase, trypsin, and amylase, which acts on fats, proteins, and starch respectively. So the exocrine part of the pancreatic gland secrete pancreatic juice. The pancreatic juice contain three enzymes. One is lipase, another one is trypsin, another one is amylase. Okay children, you know one thing, the enzyme lipase, wherever it present, it always digest only fat. Same thing the enzyme amylase, it always digest only carbohydrate. Okay, so it will not digest any other substance. Same thing, the trypsin is digesting protein only. So then next one is the glands upper surface bears islets of Langerhans, which have endocrine cells and secretes hormones, in which alpha cells secrete glucagon and beta cells secrete insulin. Okay, so the upper surface of the islets of Langerhans bears an cells called islets of Langerhans. This islets of Langerhans bears two types of cells. One is alpha cells, another one is beta cells. The alpha cells secrete a hormone called glucagon, and the beta cells secrete a hormone called insulin. The intestinal gland secrete intestinal juice called succus centricus. Okay, see children, in the intestine I said there are three types of juices are mixing with food, with digesting food. Okay, one is bile juice, which is from the liver, enter into the duodenal region. Another one is pancreatic juice from the pancreas, enter into the duodenal region, and the intestine itself secretes some digestive juices, and it is called succus centricus. So altogether the food is mixed with three juices in the intestine. Okay, right. The intestinal juice, otherwise called as succus centricus. The succus centricus contain enzymes like maltase, lactase, sucrase, and lipase, which act in an alkaline medium. From the duodenum, the food is slowly moved down to ileum, where the digested food gets absorbed. That's it. Okay, in the small intestine itself, the food get complete its digestion. So after that, the digested food or gets absorbed by the villi, which are also present in the small intestine. The villi are a small finger-like projection which are 1 millimeter in length, lined in the ileum region of small intestine. This villi consists of lacteal gland in its center and surrounded by blood capillaries. The lacteal gland absorb the digested fat, and the blood capillary absorb the digested carbohydrate and protein. This is called what? Absorption of food. Let's see about the absorption of food. Absorption is the process by which nutrient obtained after digestion are absorbed by villi and circulated throughout the body by blood and lymph and supplied to all body cells according to their requirements. Then assimilation of food. Assimilation means the incorporation of the absorbed food material into the tissue cells or their internal and homogeneous component. The final product of the fat digestion, that is fatty acid and glycerol, are again converted into fat, and excess fat are stored in the adipose tissue. So at the end of fat digestion, the fat is converted into fatty acid and glycerol. This fat, during assimilation, the fatty acid and glycerol again converted into fat, and the excess fat is stored in the muscles and adipose liver, in the adipose tissues of the muscle. Then excess sugar are converted into a complex polysaccharide glycogen in the liver. The amino acids are utilized to synthesize different protein required for the body. So this what assimilation. Next one is large intestine. Okay, in the small intestine, the digestion gets completed with the help of three juices called pancreatic juice, bile juice, and intestinal juice. And now after the digestion, the food get absorbed by the villi and incorporated into the tissues is called assimilation, and excess fat stored in the adipose tissue, excess polysaccharide or carbohydrate stored in the form of starch, in the form of glycogen in the liver, and eliminate this amino acids which are used for synthesis of various amino acids in the body. And let's see about large intestine. See, the unabsorbed and undigested food is passed into the large intestine. It extends from the ileum to the anus. It is about 1.5 meters in length. It has three parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. So the unabsorbed and undigested food is passed into the large intestine. So it extends from the ileum to the anus. It is about 1.5 meters in length. It has three parts. One is cecum, colon, and rectum. Like a small intestine, large intestine also has three parts. One is cecum, another one is colon, another one is rectum. Cecum is a small blind pouch-like structure situated at the junction of the small and large intestine. From its blind end, a finger-like structure called a vermiform appendix arises. It is a vestigial organ in human beings. Okay, cecum, what does mean by cecum? The cecum is a small blind pouch. Where it is located in the junction between the small and large intestine. At this junction, there is a blind finger-like structure which are called as vermiform appendix. It is a vestigial organ in human. What is mean by vestigial? It is given in the bracket. It don't have any peculiar function in the human body. Next, the colon is much broader than the ileum. The colon is much broader than ileum. It passes up the abdomen on the right, that is ascending colon, crosses to the left just below the stomach, it is called transverse colon, and down to the left side it is called what? Descending colon. So the colon, which is broader than ileum, and it consists of three parts. The parts of the colon which is raises in its right side is called ascending colon, and crosses to the left side of the stomach, below the stomach it is called transverse, and pass down in the left side called descending colon. The rectum is the last part which opens into the anus. It is kept closed by a ring of muscles called anal sphincters, which opens when passing stools. Okay. The undigested or unassimilated portion of the indigested food material is thrown out from the body through the anal aperture as fecal matter. This is known as egestion or defecation. See children, digestive glands, enzymes, substrate and product of digestion. See salivary gland. The enzyme present in the salivary glands are: one is ptyalin, otherwise called as salivary amylase, another one is pepsin. Okay, these are the two enzymes present in the salivary glands. Okay, on which substrate it will be act. Ptyalin act on starch, and what it will be converted into by the action of enzyme ptyalin. Starch is converted into maltose by the action of enzyme ptyalin or salivary amylase. Next one is pepsin. The enzyme pepsin, which act on the substrate called protein, which convert the protein into peptones. And next one is gastric glands. Sorry children, salivary glands consist of only enzyme pepsin, ptyalin only. Gastric glands only consist of pepsin and renin in infants. And about renin, milk protein or carcinogen. The enzyme renin act on a milk protein or carcinogen, which convert the milk protein or carcinogen into curdles milk to produce casein protein. Next one is pancreas. Pancreatic amylase, trypsin, chymotrypsin, pancreatic lipase are the various hormones secreted by various enzymes secreted by pancreas. Pancreatic amylase, which act on starch and convert it into maltose. And next one is trypsin. Trypsin act on protein and peptones into peptides and amino acids. Chymotrypsin. Chymotrypsin is an enzyme which act on protein and convert protein into proteoses, peptones, polypeptide, tri and dipeptides. Next, pancreatic lipase. It act on emulsified fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Next one is intestinal glands. Intestinal glands which secrete 4 types of hormones: maltase, lactase, sucrase, lipase. Maltase, which act on maltose and convert into glucose and glucose. Lactase, which act on a substrate called lactose and convert into glucose and galactose. Then sucrase, which act on sucrose and convert glucose and fructose. Lipase, which act on fat, convert fatty acids and glycerol. So these are the various intestinal glands, their secretion, substrate which act on, and product which are given. Okay children. So next one is human excretory system. Before that children, let's see the overall view of digestion. See, food enter into the mouth, and this is called what? Ingestion. Okay, next, from the mouth, the food are in the mouth, the food are getting mixed with the saliva and masticated and form a ball of structure called bolus. The bolus enter into the these things are taken place in the buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity, as I said, the food is mixed with the saliva, and as we have seen in previously, the saliva consists of an enzyme called what? Consists of an enzyme called ptyalin, that is salivary amylase, which act on carbohydrate, and that is starch into maltose. Okay, from the buccal cavity, the food enter into the pharynx, that is food passed from the buccal cavity to pharynx. From the buccal cavity, the food enter into the esophagus. Esophagus is a pipe-like structure which connect the pharynx with the stomach. The muscles present inside the esophagus, contract and relax continuously and make the bolus to reach the stomach, and this movement is called peristaltic movement. This movement is called peristaltic movement. From the esophagus, food reach the stomach. You know very well, in the stomach the gastric juice is present. The gastric juice consists of some enzyme, and this enzyme act on food and do some protein digestion. And from the stomach, in the stomach, the food is stayed 3 to 4 hours and converted into a milky substance called chyme. From the stomach, it is entered into the small intestine, and now only we have seen in the small intestine the food is mixed with three types of juices called pancreatic juice, intestinal juice and bile juice, and consist of various type of enzymes, and the food are completely get digested in the small intestine, and absorption also have taken place. Large intestine, from the large intestine the unwanted waste material are passed out through the anus. Okay, this process is called digestion. So these are the various steps involved in the digestion. Okay children, so I will stop with this. Next topic is human excretory system, that I will discuss with you in my next session, and you have to see the homework, this flow chart, that is process of digestion, a flow chart. This is one 5-mark question, and this table, only these two are the question. Tabulate the various enzymes, various digestive glands, their secretion, substrate which act on, and the product which will be given. Okay, this tablet column and the process of digestion diagrammatic sketch or the two home questions I will give as a homework for you children. Please complete it and send it to me. I will get you back in my next class. Bye.